we're going to look at another example of finding all the zeros of this polynomial function. And for this lesson, you're going to use some technology to come up with some of your zeros. Since we have a fourth degree polynomial here, we know that there are going to be a total of 4 zeros. Some could be real, some could be imaginary. We're actually going to pull a couple of them from the graph. So here's the same polynomial. The zeros are where it crosses the x-axis. So 2 of our solutions are x equals -4 and x equals -2. So I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to write x equals -4 and x equals -2. We know we have 2 real solutions, which means that the other 2 zeros are going to be imaginary. So to break this down, we are going to use synthetic division again. I'm going to start with -4. You could start with either one. I'm going to start with -4, and I'm going to use synthetic division. Notice we're missing an x cubed, so I'm putting in a 0. Here we go. Drop the 1. That'll give us -4. 0 plus -4 is -4. That's 16. Add, that's -2. Multiply, that gets us 8. Add, that's 20. Multiply, that's -80. We know that x equals -4 is a 0. And in fact, its factor would be x plus 4 equals 0. This x plus 4 would represent its factor. Same thing with this one, it would be x plus 2. So we took out a factor of x plus 4, and this is what we were left with. We also want to take out a factor of x plus 2 from this. We want to break it down as much as possible. So I'm going to take out a -2 and do synthetic again. 1, this gets us -2, -6, this now gets us 12, 10, -20. So I can rewrite this original polynomial up here as a factored polynomial. And it would be x plus 4, that's the first factor we took out. Then we took out a factor of x plus 2, and we were left with x squared minus 6x plus 10. And from our graph, we saw that we had 2 real zeros and our other 2 had to be imaginary. So since these are imaginary in here, this does not factor. And if it does not factor, we have to go to using the quadratic formula. The opposite of b is going to be 6, plus or minus. B squared would be a -6 squared, minus 4 times a, which was 1. C is going to be 10 over 2 times a, which is just 2. As you simplify this, underneath of the square root, you are going to get a -4. You could just plug that straight in. You get 6 plus or minus the square root of -4 over 2. The square root of -4 is positive and -2i, so now you have 6 plus or minus 2i over 2, and that simplifies to 3 plus or minus I, which represents your other zeros. I'll write those up here. X equals 3 plus or minus I. There are your 4 zeros from your polynomial.